This is Losers Writing Books.
Today we're talking about admitting you're a writer when you feel like a fraud.
And I guess we're also talking about what the advantages are of actually admitting to people that you're a writer. So Bryn, I'm pretty sure that even up until recently when we started doing this YouTube show, people pretty close to you probably didn't even know you wrote at all, right?
Yeah, I think apart from my family and probably a very small group of friends, people weren't aware that I was trying to write fiction. I went to uni, I did a communications degree, I majored in writing. I dabbled with things, but I never actually submitted, never wanted to really test myself against public opinion. Never wanted to put stuff out there. So, yeah, it was only a really small group of people who knew that I wanted to be a writer.
Why didn't you tell people you wanted to write or that you were writing?
When you tell someone that you're a writer or trying to be a writer, they'll ask you what you've written, anything they know. And part of it is just not having the confidence in your own work to really fess up to it. I think it's doubly difficult when you know you haven't published anything. So all that you're talking about is ideas in your head and nothing that's real.
You say to someone, I'm a writer, and the next question, which is a fair question, is, oh, have you published anything? Which is kind of weird because you can say, like, if someone says to you, oh, I play golf, you don't automatically say, oh, have you won any major tournaments lately? But for some reason, I think it just inherently goes with, I write, so maybe you've published.
When I was a lot younger, it seemed to me that success was blockbuster seller or nothing. And if you couldn't achieve blockbuster seller, then you shouldn't talk about what you are working on. Whereas now I think I have a far more reasonable view of what success and failure is, and I'm a lot more comfortable with failure. So I think you can say, yep, I'm writing something, I'm going to put it out there. It doesn't need to be a blockbuster hit for me to be comfortable that it was a good piece of work.
Generally, the people around you want to help you and see you succeed, right? So if you haven't actually told anyone that your dream or your goal is to write a book, no one can actually help you. You know, if I'm looking in the newspaper and I see wanted stories about horny zombie killers, I could be like, hey, Bryn, check this out. But if I don't know you right, that's not going to happen.
That's a good point. Keep an eye out for those ads. Yeah, so I guess what you're saying is there's a lot of power in letting people know what you're doing because you don't know what other information they have or other contacts they have or just sort of generally the ways that they might be able to help you if they knew what you were doing.
I think one really cool example, and you'll probably get used to me saying this a lot, Tolkien, I think when he had written The Hobbit, for a long time he didn't tell anyone. But I think at one point he actually mentioned and actually shared the manuscript with a nun who lived at Oxford. And she had a contact through a publisher. And it's weird to think that, you know, if he hadn't have had the courage to share that with her, he may never have become the greatest author of all time. Or one of them, at least.
Sure, I'll give you that. So what are the other advantages to it?
I think another big one is actually getting used to talking about your book. So if you ever actually end up talking to a publisher or agent or someone who could help you, instead of you bumbling through something because you've never actually spoken about it, you've actually gotten quite comfortable about going, hey, I write epic fantasy and I write stories about samurais attacking knights and it's weird. But you get used to saying it, right? So that's actually really helpful as well.
If you're hiding this big part of who you are and what you do, people don't really get to see that. So it's kind of nice to just be upfront and open about something that's quite a large part of your life.
So at the moment I'm reading Heaven's Net is White by Leon Hearn. It's the 5th book in the Tales of a Tory series, the first book being Across the Nightingale Floor, an awesome epic fantasy series set in medieval Japan with lots of magic, ninjas, everything that I'm really into. So check it out if that's interesting to you.
I just finished reading this book, Black Hole Town by Henry Hinder. I stumbled upon this book when I was doing some of my searches through Amazon for which genres I might look to put my novelette in. And so this one was listed under the drug novelette genre. It's about two Scots trying to escape a town. Very inspired by Hunter S., as you can see from the cover. Really good debut novel. Hot competition in the drug novelette category.
Yeah, I didn't even know that was a specific category, drug novelettes.
It's amazing what is a specific category on Amazon. If you've got any good books that you're reading, let us know in the comments below.
Thanks for watching. Next episode, we'll be talking about exactly how many books you need to sell to be successful in 2021.
And we'll also be going over our April writing goals. Are we progressing towards that publishing deadline? Don't forget, subscribe, comment, share, like, all those good things.
And of course, we'd be interested to see what you think about the topic of actually admitting you're a writer, whether it's something you've struggled with in the past.
Now's your opportunity. Just put in the comments, I am a writer, in capitals.
Just do that.
And we'll give you a thumbs up.